Hey y'all, today's video is titled Cocktails and Kybella. A couple of different requests, many people wanting cocktails, kind of especially lighter alcohol cocktails. Christine was the first to ask, so I'm giving Christine credit for this one. And then we had, who was it, Rosemary was asking about Kybella, because I told everybody that's the injection thing you do under here for, if you've got what my friend Rhonda calls the turkey goozle. And I was starting to get the turkey goozle, and so I had Kybella done, so I'll address that at the end of the video. So, cocktails, y'all. I'm dressed like a disco ball, just for y'all, because I'm going crazy! Also, I was having like a kind of Elizabeth Taylor moment with my hair. It's basically, I can't do the blue right now because I can't go to the salon. So my highlights are gone, so now it's just black blue. So anyway, feeling very Liz Taylor these days. Let's drink. First up, margaritas. Now, we're gonna use Patron Silver, like good stuff. You don't have to use, this is what we had on hand, because sometimes we'll just drink it. If you're drinking it straight up with just like over ice, you want something pretty good, but you don't have to, this has a lot of flavor in it, so you don't need fancy, fancy tequila if you don't want it. Rimmed the glass with pink Himalayan salt. It's really pretty. Little lime juice, pop it in the salt, and it's good to go. I'm doing this in a very big glass with a lot of ice. We're gonna put a lot of sparkling water into it. The whole point of this is to have things you can sip on over a long period of time, so you're not, you're not overindulging. It's a tempting thing to do these days, right? To overindulge. Ooh, bad news. Okay, so an ounce about. Then you're gonna add a lot of lime soda. And then a hefty squeeze of lime juice. You can juice it or squeeze it right in. I like a lot of lime. So that's very limey, very tart. You might want to put a couple of drops, this is just stevia. I put like 2 drops of stevia in it. There, that's enough. Stir, stir, stir. I don't have anything to stir with, so I'm stirring with my finger. There, okay. Very limey, very light. Very light on the tequila, which is nice. Love that salt. The salt with the lime juice on the rim. Play with the amounts. If you want it sweeter than this is not very sweet at all. I just put a couple of drops. Do more like a full dropper of stevia if you want to do that. Play with the amount of lime juice. I like mine really tart and just barely sweetened, and that's this. That's delicious. You could easily sip on this for a whole hour. It's good. I think I will later. Up next, we have a sparkling drink. I always have cava on hand. This is my favorite one right now, Crystalline. Actually, this has been my favorite one for years. It's not expensive. It's like $9, maybe $10. It's delicious on its own, but if you're gonna do a mixer, and I've talked to y'all about this before, do not use fancy stuff. You don't need it. You won't be able to taste the difference. Just a good serviceable cava or a dry Prosecco, if you have something like that, is great. Over ice in a pretty flute. And the secret ingredients for this, I was super curious about the tart cherry juice I found, and it is so good. It's not, there's no sugar added, it's made from concentrate, but it is very caloric. It's juice, so you don't want to use a lot of it. 1 cup has 8 ounce, okay. 8 ounces has 140 calories, so not terrible, but definitely, like there's a lot of sugar in this. You do not want to be drinking this by itself, but it's great to top the sparkling cava or whatever it is you want to use. And then I found black cherry sparkling. So we're layering the cherry and the cherry together, and it is so good. It makes the flavor so intense. So in the margarita, we layered the lime and the lime, right? This is cherry and cherry, and it's delicious. Just a little splash of this, just enough for color. You really don't need much, and look at how pretty. And then top it with the cherry sparkling water. Isn't that just lovely? It actually needs just a little tiny bit more of the cherry juice there, like that. Oh yeah, that is a gorgeous color, isn't it? Oh yeah. Oh, that is so good. but you're only using about half of the amount of sparkling wine that you ordinarily would use. So this, again, it's something to help you sip, and you can sip on this for a long time, and you can have maybe 2 or 3 of these, and it'll only be the equivalent of 1 glass of sparkling wine, right? So you're really diluting it, but it's delicious, so you don't feel like you're missing out on anything. So this will help you keep the alcohol content down. That's good. For the third one, we're gonna use the tart cherry juice again, but we're gonna mix it with the sparkling, the tart cherry and lime, but we're using vodka on this one. So nice cold bottle of Tito's, because I'm a Texas girl, of course. This one, again, you do not taste the vodka. Be very careful with this one. You don't taste the vodka on this one. There's a lot going on, so it's tricky. Be really careful how much you put in. Don't use a lot, because you won't taste it. Also, you don't need to use really fancy stuff. We happen to have this because I like to drink it just with club soda over ice, so I really can taste it. But if you really can't taste it, you don't need to use really fancy vodka on this. Don't use rot gut, obviously. I mean, come on, we're divas. But you don't need to like really shell out. Although Tito's is, it's mid-range. It's good though. I think it's delish. And for this one, I think I'm gonna use this pretty sparkling crystal wine glass, because why not? Over ice. Everything we're doing today is over ice. A little bit, that's actually maybe a little bit more than that I tested the recipe with, but that's okay. Then a little bit of cherry juice? Yeah, cherry juice. Like that. And then top it with the sparkling cherry. Where is it? Sparkling black cherry water. About like that. A little bit of lime. Stir, stir, stir. And let's taste it. I know it's gonna be good. Oh yeah, you cannot taste the vodka. Be really careful with these, because that actually was probably close to 1 ounce of vodka. And this isn't a giant glass. Yeah, you can't taste the vodka in this at all, like at all. So that will sneak up on you, so be very careful. Again, big glasses, lots of ice, lots of sparkling water, lots of juice, lots of lime. And with any of these, play with the amounts, because everybody's different, so just play with the amounts, and let me know in the comments if you come up with a good cocktail of your own, and we'll test drive it right here. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. What I would probably do on this one is, as it melts down, I would just keep adding ice to it and dilute it a little bit more, and that way you can sort of nurse it for a little bit longer. All right, good cocktails. Next, we had Rosemary asking about when I got Kybella. So for those of you that don't know, Kybella it's an injection, it's a chemical that melts the fat just underneath your chin right here. And when I think it was like on my 50th birthday, I suddenly got a double chin. It was the weirdest thing. It had nothing to do with my weight. My weight doesn't really fluctuate that much, but it just suddenly, I had this like goiter thing that was starting up, and I just was not happy with it. So I did 2 rounds of Kybella. The first one, I saw a pretty good difference. I really did. But I really needed to go back to get it. It's still not perfect. If I look down, obviously, if anybody looks down, I've still got that little turkey goozle like I talk, right there. If I look down, I still, obviously, it's still there, but it's way better than it was. Because before, it really was like a lump right there. So the procedure is, some people say it's incredibly painful. It was not for me, and I went through 2 rounds of it. They say it's like fire ants stinging you, and I did not have that experience at all. It was swollen. It was really swollen, and so I put ice packs on it that night, but the next day, still swollen for a day or 2. But I didn't experience a really painful reaction, and some people say it's incredibly painful, so I don't know what to tell y'all about that. I was perfectly fine with it. I did 2, like I said, the first one did okay, but I went back the second time. First one I went to some esthetician in New Canaan. I found it like on Guilt City or Groupon or one of those, and it was still expensive. It was $600 or $650. And then the second one I went to my dermatologist and she was $600 or $650. So that's about how it runs. They don't really do a lot of discounting on Kybella, but the main thing is to go to someone who is reputable, who's done it a lot. They have a template that they put over here and it has holes in it where they're supposed to inject the stuff. My dermatologist doesn't use that because she's done it so much before and she knows sort of how to customize it, but she's a doctor and she knows what she's doing, so I felt very confident. The esthetician I went to, same thing. She had been doing it for ages. Like, she was a really early adopter, so she'd been doing it for years. But I've got to say, I definitely suggest it. It worked really well for me. Not sure about the pain level for other people. I did not have a bad experience with it at all. Now, I had to go back the second time, but it was worth it. It was absolutely worth the all told like $1,200. But I got to tell you, to get rid of that turkey goozle, that really got rid of it. Yeah. And so someday, you know, if I ever need a facelift, I'll get one. No, I'm not getting a facelift. I mean, I will eventually, but I'm not getting a facelift anytime soon. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Actually, I'm gonna put this back in the refrigerator. That one's really strong. I do not need to be drinking that right now. I think I will have the sparkling cava with sour tart cherry and sparkling cherry, sparkling water and things. It is so good. I will put my full outfit up on Instagram. Oh, are you guys following me on Instagram? At the Care and Feeding of Divas, just like this channel. Follow on Instagram. I'm putting a lot of stuff on my stories these days because why not? There's something else to do. Okay, I think I will pick this one for my afternoon libation. It is now 5 o'clock, so perfect timing. And I'll put the rest of these in the refrigerator and maybe have them later. I'll give one to Eric. And the messages y'all are sending me are hilarious. Y'all are funny and sweet, so definitely keep those coming. And let me know where you're from, because I've got people like from all over the world who are like, we're all crazy together, love from Australia, or we're all crazy together, love from Spain. It's hilarious. I mean, y'all are the international sisterhood of divas, so keep the comments coming. Otherwise, stay as glamorous as you can stand to be. Cheers.